Good morning. Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified. Bahá'u'lláh. Thy name is my healing, O my God, and remembrance of thee is my remedy. Nearness to thee is my hope, and love for thee is my companion. Thy mercy to me is my healing and my succor in both this world and in the world to come. Thou verily art the all-bountiful, the all-knowing, the all-wise. That's also by Bahá'u'lláh, and I'm going to say it again. Thy name is my healing, O my God. In remembrance of thee is my remedy. Nearness to thee is my hope, and love for thee is my companion. Thy mercy to me is my healing and my succor in both this world and in the world to come. Thou verily art the all-bountiful, the all-knowing, the all-wise. Here's the prayer for the northeastern states by Abdu'l-Baha. O thou kind Lord, praise be unto thee, that thou hast shown us the highway of guidance. Open the doors of the kingdom and manifested thyself through the sun of reality to the blind. Thou hast given sight. To the deaf, thou hast granted hearing. Thou hast resuscitated the dead. Thou hast enriched the poor. Thou hast shown the way to those who have gone astray. Thou hast led those with parched lips to the fountain of guidance. Thou hast suffered the thirsty fish to reach the ocean of reality. And thou hast invited the wandering birds to the rose garden of grace. O O thou Almighty, we are thy servants and thy poor ones. We are remote and yearn for thy presence, are athirst for the water of thy fountain, are ill, longing for thy healing. We are walking in thy path and have no aim or hope save the diffusion of thy fragrance, so that all souls may raise the cry of, O God, guide us to the straight path. May their eyes be open to behold the light. May they be freed from the darkness of ignorance. May they gather around the lamp of thy guidance. May every portionless one receive a share. May the deprived become the confidants of thy mysteries. O Almighty, look upon us with the glance of mercifulness. Grant us heavenly confirmation. Bestow upon us the breath of the Holy Spirit, so that we may be assisted in thy service, and like unto brilliant stars, shine in these regions with the light of thy guidance. Verily, thou art the powerful, the mighty, the wise, and the seeing. The sky is beginning to get light behind me. This is the most beautiful time of day, and I'm so happy to be able to share these prayers with you at this beautiful time of day when you can watch the sky get light. Dispel my grief by thy bounty and thy generosity, O God, my God, and banish mine anguish through thy sovereignty and thy might. Thou seest me, O my God, with my face set towards thee, at a time when sorrows have compassed me on every side. I implore thee, O thou who art the Lord of all being, and overshadowest all things, visible and invisible, by thy name, whereby thou hast subdued the hearts and the souls of men, and by the billows of the ocean of thy mercy, and the splendors of the day star of thy bounty, to number me with them whom nothing whatsoever hath deterred from setting their faces toward thee. O thou Lord of all names, and maker of the heavens. Thou beholdest, O my Lord, the things which have befallen me in thy days. I entreat thee by him who is the dayspring of thy names and the dawning place of thine attributes, to ordain for me what will enable me to arise to serve thee, and to extol thy virtues. Thou art verily the Almighty, the most powerful, who art wont to answer the prayers of all men. And finally I beg of thee, by the light of thy countenance, to bless my affairs, and redeem my debts, and satisfy my needs. Thou art he to whose power and to whose dominion every tongue hath testified, and whose majesty and whose sovereignty every understanding heart hath acknowledged. No God is there but thee, who hearest and art ready to answer. Bahá'u'lláh. Here's a prayer for protection by the Bab. In the name of God, the Lord of overpowering majesty, the all-compelling. Hallowed be the Lord, in whose hand is the source of dominion. He createth whatsoever he willeth, by his word of command be, and it is. His hath been the power of authority heretofore, and it shall remain his hereafter. He maketh victorious whomsoever he pleaseth, through the potency of his behest. He is in truth the powerful, the Almighty. Unto him pertaineth all glory and majesty in the kingdoms of revelation and creation, and whatever lieth between them. Verily he is the potent, the all-glorious. From everlasting he hath been the source of indomitable strength, and shall remain so unto everlasting. He is indeed the Lord of might and power. All the kingdoms of heaven and earth and whatever is between them are God's, and his power is supreme over all things. All the treasures of earth and heaven and everything between them are his, and his protection extendeth over all things. He is the creator of the heavens and the earth and whatever lieth between them, and he truly is a witness over all things. He is the Lord of reckoning for all that dwell in the heavens and the earth and whatever lieth between them, and truly God is swift to reckon. He setteth the measure assigned to all who are in the heavens and the earth and whatever is between them. At his own, verily he is the supreme protector. He holdeth in his grasp the keys of heaven and earth and of everything between them. At his own pleasure doth he bestow gifts through the power of his command. Indeed, his grace encompasseth all, and he is the all-knowing. Say, God sufficeth unto me. He is the one who holdeth in his grasp the kingdom of all things, through the power of his hosts of heaven and earth, and whatever lieth between them he protecteth, whomsoever among his servants he willeth. God in truth keepeth watch over all things. Immeasurably exalted art thou, O Lord. Protect us from what lieth in front of us and behind us, above our heads, on our right, on our left, below our feet, and every other side to which we are exposed. Verily, thy protection over all things Verily, thy protection over all things is unfailing. And now I'm going to say the Tablet of Ahmad by Bahá'u'lláh. He is the King, the all-knowing, the wise. Lo, the nightingale of paradise singeth upon the twigs of the tree of eternity with holy and sweet melodies, proclaiming to the sincere ones the glad tidings of the nearness of God, calling the believers in the divine unity to the court of the presence of the generous one, informing the severed ones of the message which hath been revealed by God, the King, the powerful, the great. Calling the believers in the divine unity to the court of the presence of the generous one, informing the severed ones of the message which hath been revealed by God, the exalted, the powerful, the great, guiding the lovers to the seat of sanctity and to this resplendent beauty. Verily, this is that most great beauty foretold in the books of the messengers, through whom truth shall be distinguished from error, and the wisdom of every command shall be tested. Verily, he is the tree of life that bringeth forth the fruits of God, the exalted, the powerful, the great. O Ahmad, bear thou witness that verily he is God, and there is no God but him, the King, the Protector, the Incomparable, the Omnipotent, and that the one whom he hath sent forth by the name of Ali was the true one from God, to whose commands we are all conforming. Say, O people, be obedient to the ordinances of God, which have been enjoined in the Bayan by the glorious, the wise one. Verily, he is the King of the messengers, and his book is the mother book. Did ye but know? Thus doth the nightingale utter his call unto you from this prison. He hath but to deliver this clear message. Whosoever desireth, let him turn aside from this counsel, and whosoever desireth, let him choose the path to his Lord. O people, if ye deny these verses, by what proof have ye believed in God? Produce it. O assemblage of false ones. Nay, by the one in whose hand is my soul, they are not, and never shall be, able to do this, even should they combine to assist one another. O Ahmad, forget not my bounties while I am absent. Remember my days during thy days, and my distress and banishment in this remote prison, and be thou so steadfast in my love that thy heart shall not waver, even if the swords of the enemies rain blows upon thee, and all the heavens and the earth arise against thee. Be thou as a flame of fire to mine enemies, and a river of life eternal to my loved ones. Be not of those who die. And if thou art overtaken by affliction in my path, or degradation for my sake, be not thou troubled thereby. Rely upon God, thy God, and the Lord of thy fathers, for the people are wandering in the paths of delusion, bereft of discernment to see God with their own eyes, or hear his melody with their own ears. Thus have we found them, as thou also dost witness. Thus have their superstitions become veils between them and their own hearts, and kept them from the path of God, the exalted, the great. Be thou assured in thyself that verily he who turns away from this beauty hath also turned away from the messengers of the past, and showeth pride towards God from all eternity to all eternity. Learn well this tablet, O Allah. Chant it during thy days, and withhold not thyself therefrom. For verily God hath ordained for the one who chants it the reward of 100 martyrs, and a service in both worlds. These favors have we bestowed upon thee as a bounty on our part, and a mercy from our presence, that thou mayest be of those who are grateful. By God, should one who is in affliction or grief read this tablet with absolute sincerity, God will dispel his sadness, solve his difficulties, and remove his afflictions. Verily he is the merciful, the compassionate. Praise be to God, the Lord of all the worlds. Wow, the sky got really light. I'm looking for a prayer and I can't seem to find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is the tablet of visitation by Abdu'l-Baha, and this is what he writes. Whoso reciteth this prayer with lowliness and fervor will bring gladness and joy to the heart of this servant. It will be even as meeting him face to face. He is the all-glorious. O God, my God, lowly and tearful, I raise my suppliant hands to thee, and cover my face in the dust of that threshold of thine, exalted above the knowledge of the learned and the praise of all that glorify thee. Graciously look upon thy servant, humble and lowly at thy door, with the glances of the eye of thy mercy, and immerse him in the ocean of thine eternal grace. Lord, he is a poor and lowly servant of thine, enthralled and imploring thee, captive in thy hand, praying fervently to thee, trusting in thee, in tears before thy face, calling to thee and beseeching thee, saying, O Lord my God, give me thy grace to serve thy loved ones. Strengthen me in my servitude to thee. Illumine my heart. Illumine my brow with the light of adoration in thy court of holiness and of prayer to thy kingdom of grandeur. O God, help me to be selfless at the heavenly entrance of thy gate, and aid me to be detached from all things within thy holy precincts. Lord, give me to drink from the chalice of selflessness. With its robe clothe me, and in its ocean immerse me. Make me as dust in the pathway of thy loved ones, and grant that I may offer up my soul for the earth ennobled by the footsteps of thy chosen ones in thy path, O Lord of glory in the highest. With this prayer doth thy servant call thee at dawn tide and in the night season. Fulfill his heart's desire, O Lord. Illumine his heart, gladden his bosom, kindle his light, that he may serve thy cause and thy servants. Thou art the bestower, the pitiful, the all-bountiful, the gracious, the merciful, the compassionate. Abdul Bahá'í.